ones who need healing. Swelling, if you have swelling in the legs or in your feet or your ankles, or if your intestines are swollen. I'm really glad that mine aren't swollen anymore. Acknowledge what you're eating, what you're not supposed to be eating. Pay attention, don't pay attention, but grow gardens, start to nourish purest possible ways, rawest as possible. I'm going to bring in some healing for those who need healing. Welcome you up to take a moment to really breathe in light. Expand that breath. Don't exhale yet. Keep that breath in. Inhale again. Don't exhale yet. Breathe in deeper and exhale. Freedom from the past experiences or others who feel like they are ruling over you, like, oh, you are mine and you must work for me. Like if you're experiencing that and you don't feel happy on the inside, you got to survive the experience by choosing another path of work, possibly. If it's something that you can't do and be happy, then what are you doing? You can pay for the bills, you can cover certain costs, but you can also start growing your garden, start putting into an idea, what kind of business could you do? What are you good at? What do you love? What do you enjoy? Love and what do you enjoy? There has to be an effort that comes into play when you're like, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do what? If you're like, oh, go back to bed, then you woke up for what reason? Not just to go to the bathroom. You woke up to begin the visualizations of the positive changes necessary to get you up out of that bed. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to work through the experiences of wanting to rest and resting. But some moments you just gotta get up and do. You just gotta get up and do. Even if you're exhausted, even if you have a tummy ache or a crown ache or something on you doesn't feel comfortable, you've gotta find a reason to get up. Heal yourselves. Find a way to heal. I make cures. So I know how to heal myself really easy. I get myself, I put it on me, and then I heal myself. And I have that option, which is better. You know, I have children, I have to push myself. So those of you who have given birth to beloved creations, you acknowledge that it's a whole nother story when you have little ones to provide for. You have to actually work, even when you feel like you can't work. You just gotta push yourselves and do that. You gotta do that for yourselves also. You really have to start acknowledging, okay, I'm worth it. What do I need to do to make sure that I'm not just existing check by check or payment by payment, that I can have some fluidity within that range to be able to feel like I'm also pampering myself. Like I just started buying conditioner for myself again. Like I decided I was going to make it for myself, but I'm too busy at this moment. I just started making new things. So I just made like a bunch of sacred jewelry with 3 different types of copper on them and crystal beads. And it's like, you know, I'm being really busy, being really functional, and all of the areas that I'm really successful at, that I enjoy. Well, not all of them right now. I haven't finished the children's stories that I've begun. I've got to do the animation for that. I have a bunch of things. I think I want my children to draw them. But my inspiration to inspire you each with is that we have it in us. We don't have to work for someone else. We don't need them to help us. We can work with them, with the businesses that we feel drawn to. Do you have a specialty in soil? Are you really like an expert at soil? Well, guess what? There's your need. There's many of us who would benefit greatly if you could start contributing your knowledge and sharing that with the tribe so that the gardens can flourish, because soil is really important. And I guarantee if you write a book or you do YouTube videos to teach them, or you start seminars and you buy your company's name and then you buy your website and you design it yourselves, like you're not paying that much except for certain fees, you know, there's free ones out there. So yes, I could do a free question. Ask Talk, greetings and welcome. Like do be. Let's do this. Yeah. You can ask me a question. brings happiness. So it's easy to create when there's happiness in those moments, because we're creating with, okay, this is that TNT, and it's R&R. This is that rest and relaxation. What's TNT? That I was supposed to be doing, not TNT. The rest and the relaxation that, it was meant. And the sacred salt beings, there's like shops, there's ones from many places, and they're so delightfully sacred. And working with them in a mixture, I just started doing sacred scrubs. I used to do them before for like certain companies that do the laser treatments to take away cellulite, and so they asked me for a scrub. I learned how to make them. But I stopped doing that, and now I started doing it again, and I'm working with multiple types of salts, and I really feel like you're supposed to do that as beings. We're supposed to work with as many salts as we're meant to, from the places we are meant to. And some of them remind us of our ancestry, of our incarnations, of our other experiences, and even our roots. And they're very healing for our ancestry. So acknowledging the sacredness of salts for the full moon is going to help you wash through maybe some of those things that your heart has to heal through, family experiences. says a lot to them, especially when you come from a place of loving and positivity. Like I acknowledge, acknowledging what you have experienced, what you did, and what they have done. Acknowledging more so just like, hey, I wanted to say this to you or that to you, and I hope that you can communicate with me in some moment, and we can have a discussion. And it's really nice because it does help. Have you burned them? Try burning them with the intentions of letting that sacred air, sacred realms of what's feeling for healing. Oh, that's a question that I don't want to answer. I'd say it's mom. Somebody who's like family does love you, but reminds me of someone who's like adolescent, like in elementary school. Psychologically, there's certain parts of that being that, or middle school. I'm not sure which one. Maybe middle school. Doesn't fathom the full comprehension. It does, but just tries not to, of relationships with others because of the amount of experiences where things have happened to that being. It's like to protect means to have some space to heal, especially if they're healing on things. And working through it alone isn't like an option always for some, but we're also not alone. And that being needs to have some moments to get some messages from those who are in the other realms, and to learn about itself. I believe everything that I just told you would sum that up. Thank you very much. I believe that's plenty of free questions now. I'm going to sing. I'm going to do some healings and activations. Ooh. guess I could do like the birth signs with the cusps. I haven't done that in a while. And it is like the second already. I should have done it sooner. I need to see them really fast in that order. Because I don't have it all memorized. So we're going to begin with Aries. And thank you for your presences. I only have one deck out right now that I feel like I'm supposed to bring forward. Aries. With hematite, shows adjacent possibilities. Adjacent possibilities, which is that if it was not reversed, which it is on the reading, that there would be many doors open so easy. What it's showing is that there's doors open and it's easy, except you have to work through the anxieties, you have to work through the doubts. It's kind of echoey. You have to work through the doubts. You have to work through the fears and sadnesses and grievings with Howlite. Howlite is coming forward to be able to be helpful in those experiences. Aries, Taurus, Cusp shows that you have to work on your personal or your self-expansional door to happiness and healing. Shows that you have to work on taking action because you have not been taking action in your care. So if you're the Aries, Taurus, Cusp, work on self-care as well as productivity for happiness and health by taking action. The next one is for Taurus. Shows storm warning. Shows that there's a storm warning, and what you can do to work through it is to make sure that the center is aligned. Breathing in light, practicing that breath of light, practicing the expansion to be able to function through those experiences as a light. So then the storm, it doesn't go inside of that bubble as much as it does. The light comes outwards, and then it makes there a beautiful experience of learning, growth, development, but also not having to get thrown on the ground and up into the sky and flipped around by some cow beings. Really, that's what the storm looks like on there. I'd imagine that's what that would feel like for them who got stuck in there. Maybe not all. I'm sure it's very peaceful for some. You don't get hurt. Is working through the centering again. What happened is that there was an off-balance experience. It was a wobble. When you have a wobble, you have to acknowledge, what can I do to make sure that I don't keep having wobbles? You can't have wobbles happening if it's causing storms. So it says center and align, expand, be strong, be healed, be safe, be loving, love your heart, love your soul, love your vessel. So if that part's able to feel aligned, then do you realize how much work you've done on the expansion and being with that? It's really that we've worked so hard and we can master the centering expansion. It's so beautiful. So that was for Taurus. The next is Taurus Gemini. Can you type into Josie? Taurus Gemini. Let's see. Different cards. There it is. Alright. It says change in relationship has a reversed of stability from somebody who was holding a heart, like a loving relationship with you, and that being and you no longer hold the same connection as the loved one that you were like the sun to it, and it was like loved you as you were. Then things changed and you didn't even love you the same. And that being, it's as if it took part of your heart with it when it went. So what has to happen is forgiveness, acceptance, self-worth, growing self-worth, and healing through the experiences. And that's Taurus Gemini. The next, wait, no, that's Aries, Taurus, Taurus Gemini. That was Gemini cards, right? Yeah. Okay. So much. Okay. We can do this. The next is Gemini, Cancer cards. Shows that for the throat chakra to open, for you to feel like the voice is being heard, Gemini, Cancer, signs, shows that there has to be an integration, feeling that it's not just one-sided, that there's an actual integration where you both get to work together and do things together in a functional way. And that's really beautiful stability, because that comes with the voices healing because of that integration, that divine integration of collaboration together, as is meant. So that was Gemini, Cancer. The next we're going to do on there, we're going to pull for Cancer. We're not pulling for Cancer, we're pulling the cards for those who are Cancer signs. It shows that you have got to heal through feeling like you were not strong enough, and that's why you don't feel like there's an integration happening with your experiences with creations, because you felt like you were kind of like kicked to the curb. Like you thought that your friends were a certain way, and then you learned that you needed to get other types of friends, and this was just floating in midair underneath my leg. How did you do that? I literally just like, look at that. It's a date seed. That's pretty cool. I learned how to move foil with my, like, looking at it energetically today. That was really fun. Okay. So the next one is so the Cancerians, the way that you're going to heal through that, I can do an activation after I do the completion of these on there. Okay, so Angel of Strength. You've got to start working on positive changes, looking and seeing the horizon, visualizing that there's positivity, seeing the dream board, believing that it's possible to be happy, to be healed, to be accepted, to be integrated, to even go to places where you can do what you need to just release some of that energy without hurting another. The next is for Cancer, Leo. Thank you for your presences and offerings. Sorry. So if you're a Cancer, Leo, Cusp, shows that you have to work on your doors to self-healing, development, transformations, happiness, bliss, explorations, adventures, things that make you hum. And the way that you're going to do that is through rest and rejuvenation. You must take moments to rest and rejuvenate. It's very, 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 very necessary before doing something that's overexerting. Just really get ready. Make it a plan. The next one there is for Leo. Shows that you have to work on not making everything focused on the base or the root chakral areas or the genital areas. Working on expanding into the mohawk of light. Expanding from the root all the way like a fan mohawk. But make sure you're working on the center. Make sure you're working on the heart. Make sure you're working on the throat healing, the wings, the necks, the crown. All of the insides and the expansions of being within who you are as a being to heal through your experiences. Sorry, I'm doing my crystal pouches. You have to be able to allow yourself to not only have root experiences when you have interactions with others, that it's way bigger than that, through a pure loving, through an experience that says, hey, I have a soul and so do you, and let's do something that's deeply precious together. You know, like energetically utilizing the energy to do something that's sacred. Okay, and loving each other also is nice. Let's see. The next says Leo, Virgo. Virgo, if you're Leo, Virgo, Cusp, shows appreciation for the sacred, positive changes that have changed the way that you perceive your experiences. Give thanks and appreciation for who you have become, who you are becoming, and what you have on the next page. It's not just the next page, it's a page that's already been written. You've already been building yourself energetically to come into a place of peacefulness. So acknowledging the peacefulness, acknowledging the visions, the dreams, even the diet changes. The next one, Libra. These two cards spell out also, so I'm going to read them. Shows that there's door to romance, but that it's not with the same being that it was imagined it was going to be with, that there's other romance that is coming, and that the other is jealous of it. Wants to be the only being who brings the romance to that loved one, and is learning how to accept that there's many loved ones and that is okay. So the next we're going to do on there is just Libra, right? Did I already do it? I'm ready for bed now. Let's see. Done yet. Shows contract, the number 6 on there, which says that it has to do with children. It can do with children or business, but it looks like it could do with children, a house, something that's like a foundation, but not only a foundation, but a place that's called home, for not us, but for your situation, what you're working on, signing a contract for. It could be a new home. It could be a new business. It could be a marriage certificate. I was like, what's that thing called again? That thing that they do. A ceremony, manifesting. Oh, a wedding. Shows cornucopia, which is bliss. And this is a all for us, everyone card. Bliss, sustainable wellness, expansional bliss. Ah. Okay. The next one is Libra, Scorpios. It says Scorpius. It doesn't say Scorpius, it's Scorpius. So, Libra, Scorpius, Cusp. Sounds kind of cool together. Bow, 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 bow. Okay. Ooh, hello. Shows stability with the integration of a relationship. It could have to do with a child. There's someone who's like a third party involved, but it also could do with the fulfillment of spirit, mind, and body. The vessel expanding into, I have plenty as I am. I have this ability to provide for myself, and I can go and enjoy being and laying and resting and having fun, jumping across streams and rolling on these sacred hills and breathing in the air and watching the wishes float by. You know, when we get to that point of relaxation, really acknowledge the hard work and effort that it took to get to that part, especially if you have children. So it's Libra. Oh, it's such a and I will be posting the rest online. Thank you so much, loved ones. I don't want it to go offline. Let me go get my computer charger. Hold on. I'm so sore. I'm actually. Oh, legs. Oh, I'm so sore. I found muscles that I didn't realize I had. Okay. So what happens when you slide down a steep hill? You're this tall. It's like, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. So I'll continue. The next is Scorpius on there. Did we already do Scorpius? Let's see. So I said Scorpius and I turned over the card and it showed hostilities. It says that there has to be healing through relationship and family experiences, less hostilities. Don't get so frustrated. If you do, why are you frustrated? What is it that caused you to feel frustrated? Acknowledge what is it that triggers you or triggered you in those experiences, a moment, what happened inside, and when did that begin? When did it feel so like, oh, there's so much to work through? And so you can acknowledge yourself and your self-worth as well. And then it helps with their family, helps healing, helps create a positive atmosphere for those who are present also, including you. Okay. So the next is Scorpius Sagittarius. If you are Scorpius Sagittarius Cusp. Shows working with La Luna and La Sol, which is the moon and the sun, for the positive change experiences for healing in the relationship. It shows asking for help, bathing with light, healing with light, and doing that together to bring about positive changes that bring about deep expansional healing. The next says reconnection to sacred heavenly spirit or peaceful spirit, or dove energy also is present, and the reminder of heaven, the reminder of whatever your version of heaven may feel like, being okay with that and not trying to compare it to each other's versions of what you imagine, but imagine being loved so deeply, so unconditionally, that there's a wave of love that washes in, loving, compassionate healing that is felt inside and out expansively. And that is what this card also represents, is that integration, that acceptance of divine soul, and the acceptance that it's okay to be loved spiritually by those who are present, acknowledging only that you do not have to fear when they begin to come in those ways. It's an acknowledgement that there's going to be spiritual awakenings also, healings with that. Beautiful. The next card I'm pulling for is Sagittarius. I said that once, I guess I'm going to do another one. Shows that you have to work on the integration. Just do it. Stop biting the hands of others and let them help. Just accept that it's okay, and it's okay to get loved and helped. The next is Sag and Capricorn. Shows strategizing through the experiences. It shows that it has to do with relationship and being able to become one together, having a marriage or having a child or having some sort of an integration that is very necessary to do as a soul. Like a beautiful lovely lightning that becomes one with another beautiful, very lovely lightning. But it takes strategy because not everyone is readily available for that kind of experience. Some of them are like, I'm better as I am. Hello, loved ones. I'll read your messages. Let me see. I will do that in just a moment. I'm going to complete through these, so thank you. And acknowledging that with the integration and that oneness uniting, it creates a sacred trinity, a sacred pyramid, a sacred triangle connection that creates an Om ball that's really very important to work with healings. With Capricorn, it shows removing the feelings of attachments for positive changes. If you're holding on to past grudges, realize that this is not that moment to hold on to grudges. This is the moment to release the grudges, to really expand with the forgiveness and an energy of, well, we all have to transform, and we each do in our ways. So we acknowledge that we have more potential when we're ready to receive that we are part of the positive change by removing the attachment of sadness, sorrow, grief, and grudges, and hate. And we embrace that positive solution of loving deeply, expansionally, healingly, soulfully. The next is Capricorn, Aquarius, Cusp. Thank you for your patience. Shows community, shows embracing and reopening to the connection of that which is the experiences with loved ones as Ohana, and enjoying each other's company in an innocent way, in a way where it's relaxing, it's comfortable, it's calming, but that you have a chance then to speak. If you know anything about events or gatherings or things like that, you acknowledge that when it's a community, the communications is in another type of way. They're not always out at the same moment to talk to each other. They take turns to talk to each other, and they have that community energy. They call each other on the phone, they check in. If they hear someone yelling in the home, you know, it's like family. So acknowledging the worth of community and the music of that and the integration with pure love, stability of the integrations of pure love connections and familyism as the souls who are ready to heal and connect in those ways. So you've probably been really hungry and wanting to do things, but you're like, is that a good idea? Yes, it's a great plan, and there's ways to do it in a comfortable way. I have this app online that I connect with the neighbors. I even contact them there. Okay, the next is for Aquarius. Shows integrating is necessary to integrate balance, integrate the integration and what it is that you're supposed to be doing spiritually. Acknowledging the healing that happens with that. Aquarius, Pisces, Cusp shows indecision. Shows you don't feel decisive because you do not feel like you're a healer. You don't feel like you have all the answers. And you don't want to be deceived. You felt like you were deceived, and it feels like that's not an option for you to get deceived. Right now you feel like it's not an option. And the way you're going to heal with that is through heart healing, through the experience, to help decisions, make it so the decisions are pretty smooth. Alright, next is Pisces on the list. And then it's mine. So excited. Shows Pisceans, you're working on healing through hostilities from past relationships that have to do with home, family, core values as well. And what you're working on is going to help when you can align the entire inner vessel and start to work on expanding that light within, outwards, to remove some of that hostility. Practice the breath of light. Practice. As soon as you feel that trigger, that moment, you're like, just breathe in. Don't exhale. Breathe in again. Don't exhale. Breathe in again. And again. Don't exhale yet. And one more breath in. Now expand the breath and don't exhale. Imagine that breath expanding. Don't exhale yet. And then there's a calmness. It's really helpful. The next is Pisces Aries Cusp. So excited. Oh my goodness, I hope it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Be beautiful. This is really happy. Wow. Need that no joke. Okay. So it shows releasing anxieties. If you felt like you were doing it solo and that you didn't have the team, acknowledge that there's a team and that there's not a soloism happening. It's an integration that's helped so much to remove the anxieties. Feeling supported has helped with that heart healing. Now with that acknowledgement, there's the opening of the garden gate, which has doves flying, beautiful love, beautiful sacred growth, expansions of heart healing, purity, innocent, loving relations. Shows an innocence, like a beautiful, loving connection, but that it's really, really deeply expansions from within, shining outwards, and all of it. Shows happy family with 4 for stability. Shows the integration there, happy family. And it shows that there's not a need for patience. With the experience, we're not being told to be patient through it, it's all happening right now. And it's happening really quickly. So acknowledging that rapid movement being on the Pisces Aries cusp, there is a rebirthing that's like washing in, expansional, but very healing, so very safe, very nested, but very also expansional and loving, healing and growing, very focused also. but sensitive and fluid. So being able to integrate that is also important. Thank you so much for having patience and listening to all of that. That was a lot. Okay. I'm amazing. Thank you for that. Julie, I want you to write little post-its, Julie. It's going to help you work through it. So if you feel like everyone around you is judging you, right? And you don't need to feel that way. So you could change that perception and perspective by telling yourself, like writing on the wall, I am accepted. I am not judged in a negative way. I am loved. I am safe. I am sacred. So that there's a level of respect and honor that comes with that. When you read that, you're vibrationally pulling that energy towards, so that it's more of a peaceful, expansional integration and less of a turmoil experience of feeling judged by everyone. Thank you for your presences. Thank you for loving me. I'm going to get in bed. I got to wake up early and make a music video and some sacred oracle photos, my oracle cards, activation cards I'm making. It's going to be really fun. I want to show you, want to see what I made today? Maybe I will show you. I made little baby bracelets of copper with multiple, like 3 different types of copper on there. There's a sacred 7 and moss agate on that. That is obsidian on there, and it's magnetic copper. And then this one is, it's like repels some of the EMFs. It's for little babies. Little babies, little light beings. I have a crown too. I made this crown today. And then this is an ankle bracelet, an anklet. It has turkey tail. It's made with opal, citrine, the lucky 7, the melody stones, silver, hematite, lapis lazuli, and the moss agate as well. Yeah, I felt like working with that, and I believe that's the magnetized copper also. It definitely has another type of weight. It's totally another type of alchemy for sure. I've been enjoying working with them. I'm excited to make more. So yeah, I pray that you'll be okay, loved ones. I'll see you again soon. Thank you for your souls. If you want a session with me, just inbox me and I'd be happy to do a session with you. Take care, loved ones. Okay, I've completed that one. Whew. How are you feeling? Well, thank you for your messages. Let me see. I have to scroll up. Oh, look who's here. It's so beautiful to see you. Aw, that's adorable. I'm so glad you did too, Melissa. Noel, too. Tatakuti. I'll let you know about this tattoo on my arm, okay? So my the being that I married at 18, like right out of high school, right before college, was a warrior who promised to come in to protect me from getting married to the wrong type of being. So remained married to me till I was able to have my crown healed enough to have the sense not to just marry someone, like I wasn't supposed to. So I guess that's how that being saw that or something. But fell rose in love and relation with somebody but woke up with a scar on its arm. Went to battle. And told me that we had to go get these matching tattoos. Even though we were not together, we had different bedrooms then, opposite sides of the house. We were not in a relationship like that. We were sharing the home and taking care of our children together. And so I went and we got the tattoos, but I said, I'm not going to tattoo a wound on my arm, Brendan. I don't need that. I did not get that wound. That was you. I'll do the dagger because I have my atham that I would gather my herbs with, my garden, and it resembled my atham. So I decided to have it in my atham shape. And I didn't want it like the scar or like the wound that Brendan had. So I added what my atham had is like the little handles. It was really special to me. And it's not a wound for me. For me, it's the sword. It's the atham. It's the heroic light, innocence of a blade. And even the tip is pointed but sideways. It doesn't go straight pointed towards there. It's like that. Thank you. I love you too. Aw, that's so beautiful. I'm so glad that you enjoyed that. I need to cut it and put it on YouTube. I'm like itchy some. I think I need to take a shower. I just was climbing in a bunch of tree banks to go look at the forest of nourishments that's over at the ranch. It's like, wow. I was crawling through places through like branches. It's like branches. I like climbed through. Like I was wearing my high heel boots. I stopped wearing those to go on adventures. Yeah, I know. I wasn't imagining I was gonna go on an adventure tonight, but you had a dream about it. Oh, wow, that's a trip. I was definitely in a place that seemed kind of fallen in those moments. It wasn't the same me as I am now. I was like, I'd be singing at Harley bars, like biker bars, beautiful songs. I would just go up to the stage and be like, I'm a singer, let me sing. And they'd be like, okay. And I had a boot, and in my boot I had a knife in my boot. And because I didn't want them to mess with me, I didn't want to show any fear, I just wanted to sing. So I went in the way that I wanted to, and I got totally respected for it, so it's okay. I don't have the boots with knives in them anymore, though. I'll stop doing that. I raised my daughter value. Sweet dreams, loved ones. I'll see you soon. I'm really excited to get up. I love how cloudy it is. I actually enjoy waking up and seeing the blankets of like clouds. It's not that easy to drive in. You have to drive really carefully, but it's so nice. It feels so good to breathe too. So I'm really excited. And we would like to do the horseback. So I have to brave in at my vessel to get onto that. They're really huge, is why they're huge. I've already, they know me, because I visit them, my name is there, and horses, the horse rings. So they know me, but my energy is like super not human, so I feel like they're probably familiar with that, since Christian's not very human either. So it should be really easy. I'll hold on really tight to like the ropes to make sure I'm okay. Well, technically, like the photo, I'm gonna be like hugging onto like that, and wearing a dress, and it'll be like that. So like it's like that. And Christian's gonna take a photo too, or I'm gonna do a video, and then I'm gonna take screenshots of it, because Philly had to go back to Santa Cruz to be with its darling at the house. So it's cute. And like, I hope that you enjoyed all the messages. It's going to be good to re-listen to when I'm laying in bed. I know that I've said it like more than one card for some of them too, which is really exciting to do. Especially when they just start coming out with the stuff, like just do it. It's all there, the whole thing. It's like, okay, some of them are like just a little bit, because they need to do the journey. Sorry. I'm like all up on my eyes, like, alright, lovers, I gotta keep working, but I'm gonna get some rest too, but I love thee, and if you want a session with me right now, you can reach out to me and do that. I'm available for a session right now, before I go to bed. I have I have some moments to make this happen, okay? Loving.